round number 2.
Right there.
And I gotta say, guys, Vargas has been down 3 times in 3 different fights, each time in the second round. The late, great Smoking Joe Frazier, he could relate. Second round was his jinx round against the likes of George Foreman and Oscar Bonavena.
Yeah, that's true.
And it almost seems that any of these fighters is going down is going to be with a hook. They're both hooking at the same time.
Yeah.
They're hooking with hookers? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and they were right-hand happy in the first round, and now they heard my keys to victory. They said, we're supposed to use that left hook.
Well, and speaking of left hooks, Joe Frazier.
Yeah, he had a pretty good one. Yeah.
Man, these two are just sitting down, and like you said, Abner and Al as well. Vargas said, I'm going to sit down on my punches more. I'm going to prove that I can go toe-to-toe with a guy like Magsayo, and, well, he's willing to put that to the test here in the early going.
And both men are landing in this round. They've landed each 50% of the punches they've thrown in this round, according to show stats. They are throwing and landing.
Yeah, they're both power punchers. You know, Vargas having 22 knockouts, Magsayo 16, and they both really sit on the punches when they want to. There it is from Magsayo. He barely mixed with that left hook.
Yeah, Vargas has not scored a knockout since he halted faded former champion Alexander Munoz back in September 2016.
Yeah, he's not known for getting knockouts when he's at a high echelon, but he is an aggressive puncher.
Yeah, but in most of those fights, he chose to. He chose to use the whole reach that he has, but right now we're seeing a different side for Lou.
Oh, wow, nice punch there from Magsayo. And you know what? I said it would be incumbent upon Magsayo to do something to make Vargas change his style, and whether Vargas has done it voluntarily or not, it's happening.
And to add about the keys for victory that Al said, you don't want to hook if you're Vargas, and that's what he's doing. I'm sorry. Yeah, you want to hook if you're Magsayo. He's a shorter man.
By Vargas.
Right. Gracias. Thank you.
Nice body shot. Right hand by Magsayo, and he would like to go to the body, of course, against the taller Vargas.
Magsayo normally throws many jabs. He is not throwing a lot, neither is Vargas. Magsayo's only thrown 35 jabs so far, Vargas 43, but Magsayo usually uses that punch a lot.
And usually both of them throw way above the featherweight average for total punches, not so far in this fight. 15 seconds left in the second, a spirited start to this featherweight title fight between undefeated belt holder Mark Magsayo and undefeated former 122-pound champion Rey Vargas. Oh, nice right hand lands at the end of round 2 for Magsayo.
Hey, a lot went on in round number 2. I mean, a lot. It started with Magsayo landing this kind of bouncing a right hand, pushing Vargas back. And then Vargas would come back, and he's gonna work on the left hook here. He's gonna do a short check left hook that landed off the top of the head of Magsayo. And then Magsayo, who wants to get inside and work the body, would get in there and do a little body work once he got on the inside, and also a nice left hook to the head.
There's Mark Magsayo's wife, who is very instrumental in his career, Frances, who does a host of duties, including being his manager.
And she's a tattoo artist.
A tattoo artist. Yeah. Well done. And of course, maybe she's responsible for some of that work on Magsayo's body.
I'm going to say yes to that.
Especially the female.
Exactly, especially her face on the chest.
All right, third round here. As, Vargas survived the second round, had a good second round, didn't go down. Again, that round 2 was the rounds in his career that brought him to the canvas. But, man, they are throwing like they want to knock each other down, that's for sure. And for Magsayo, he has never, or excuse me, has been knocked out twice against Julio Cejan, that incredible come-from-behind win, which really put him on the stage, because that was the night that Manny Pacquiao forced to retire against Yordenis Ugas.
Yeah, very exciting fight, and was way behind and came back. This fight is intriguing, and it's intriguing largely because Ray Vargas has decided to stay there and battle Magsayo.
We talked about the jab not being used from either side. I think either Vargas or Magsayo has to start throwing that jab.
I agree.
Magsayo to get in and Vargas to keep that distance and set up a right hand.
And here you look at the power punches in the last round. How about that? Magsayo landing at 50%. Vargas, 69%. And that's everything other than the jab. So they were loading up in that round.
Talked about Vargas and Magsayo and facing adversity. Magsayo, of course, coming from behind to stop Seya. Well, he was dropped by Chris Avalos, also ended up stopping him. So his faced adversity has overcome it. And yeah, he's heard all of the stories about Gary Russell Jr. being a one-armed fighter after the fourth round, where Gary Russell didn't throw a jab after exacerbating the injury to his right shoulder. But when you look at the stats, and at the end of the day, Mark Magsayo did what was necessary to become a belt holder at 126 pounds. You talk about his confidence. He says it doubled overnight, but that confidence being put to the test here by a guy who has yet to taste defeat as well in Ray Vargas.
Yeah, Vargas is using that reach, that distance really well in this round. He's not boxing, using the entire ring. He's standing at a great range where he's landing that check hook and throwing that right hand over on top.
Both men are feinting a lot, and there is Vargas doing it. Magsayo's done it as well.
There's that jab.
Yeah, you made a very good point, Abner. The first man that starts to really establish that's going to have an edge in this fight.
Lead left hook by Vargas. That jab has been a little faster for Vargas. He's again leading with left hooks, leading with power shots.
And he has a good left hook. He's not a giant power puncher, but he's got a good hook. He's got to be careful how he throws it.
Come on! Come on!
Fourth round underway. Magsayo trying to put the pressure on Vargas.
Yeah, Vargas not giving up with that hook. He's throwing it, and he's missed many times. He's caught the gloves, but it's just a matter of time.
And how about this? I don't think we've had one clinch in this fight, barely. Maybe one or two, but not many.
Great body shot from Vargas. Yeah, really clean fight so far.
And they're fighting at the range to land punches.
Those punches bouncing off the high guard of Magsayo, goes downstairs, then fires a left hook upstairs.
I like when he gets in that rhythm, Magsayo. He gets in the little bouncy rhythm. He lets go of the punches a little bit more volume. And that's what you want to do, because you're going to miss the first two shots against a taller fighter in Vargas.
You know, one of the toughest fights that Magsayo's had was against Rigoberto Emacia, a tall fighter at 5'9", and it's a split decision with him, so the height can bother him from time to time.
That was fast from Vargas. Nice three-piece.
No soda, though, Abner. Minute 35 seconds left here in the fourth. High-level fight between these two undefeated world-class warriors. Magsayo launching a lead left hook, and so does Vargas. Both miss.
You know, Magsayo had good sparring against Juan Carlos Burgos, who's a big, tall, rangy fighter like Vargas. That was a good man for him to spar with.
Yeah, that's a great fighter, Vargas. I remember him. Yeah, great sparring partner, but right now, I mean...
Yeah, it's not helping him right now.
So much.
Because Vargas is controlling the distance here, and this round especially.
Pick'em fight, according to the odds makers. A nice left hand by Magsayo to the side of Vargas' head. And there's a stiff jab from Vargas, and now Vargas tagging Magsayo 3 times in a row to the face with the jab.
He's getting that feel of that jab now, Vargas. That was a really good hook from Magsayo. Yeah. He timed it really well.
That's what he wants. He thinks that's probably his ticket to hurting Vargas if he can. Vargas having a really good round, though.
having a good round and hoping to make it a great night, looking to become a two-division champion, and it is as well a family affair for the Vargas clan, as Ray Vargas has his sister Alejandra in his corner, his father Carlos, there's his mother Alejandra. So for the Vargas family, they're all in attendance and all hoping Mexico brings back a title at 126.
And you have to repeat it. Give it a couple of times. Okay. You feel strong? You feel strong? He's starting to see that the power that you have. You only got one punch away from winning this fight. Water. Let me get a little water. Keep working with that left and then with the right. The 1-2. No water upstairs.
Well, there was one moment that Mark Magsayo lunged in that round, and that was this hook that landed a counter left hook. But the majority of the round, it was being controlled range by Vargas, using the jab and also the straight right hand. So they liked what Vargas did in his corner.
The show stats bear that out as we begin round number 5. Magsayo going to the body, and there's a short right uppercut to the body by Vargas. Chopping right hand, and Magsayo trying to lunge his way inside, get past the physical disadvantages.
We saw the shot of his...
But, well, referee Shorley calls it a slip. He was hit with a left hand upstairs, but...
Yeah, not really
knocked down.
It's a little push also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also you got to get Vargas. Every punch that he's throwing is with bad intentions. Even that check could, it had some power. He's really sitting down on his punches.
Triple jab by Magsayo. Coming into the fight, he was known for throwing 33% of his punches as jabs, landing about 5 per round.
Even though after that jab, you hook, I want to see the right hand coming right behind that hook. There's that right hand, but you want to hook first.
Body shots by Vargas and then stumbles coming forward.
It's really amazing to see a 5'10" guy in there in this weight class.
Exactly. Magsayo could well be the hardest hitter that Vargas has faced. He's up at the highest weight. He's got pop, and yet Vargas has taken his power punches so far. And there's a total punches, and you see Vargas with the edge, both in terms of what he's thrown and what he's landed thus far, according to show stats.
You mentioned the fight against Rigoberto Hermosillo from Magsayo, one of his toughest fights to date because of those physical traits of Hermosillo, and well, Ray Vargas proving to be as tough as they come from Magsayo here tonight. Final minute of the 5th.
Again, we still have not seen the double jab from Magsayo. He's lunging in, he's throwing, he's got to be careful also.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Andrew.
He's lunging in a lot. I mean, those are heavy shots, but you could also walk into something.
Well, Manny Pacquiao told Magsayo the key would be his footwork and head movement, and not a lot of that on display here tonight thus far against Vargas. In a successful fashion, Vargas again landing. There's a nice counter right that staggered Vargas, so a sharp counter right hand lands from Magsayo. We are through 5 rounds, and another interested spectator fresh off the victory over Carlos Castro. Brandon Figueroa, hey, he's showing the vestiges of what was a pitched battle, and man, you should see the other guy as Brandon Figueroa, winner tonight by 6th round TKO, making a nice splash at a new weight class, 126 pounds. He wants to face the winner of the main event.
You can do this. Back him up with your hands. Okay, let your hands go. Let's go.
Well, early on, Magsayo, well, first is Vargas doing this excellent body work and throwing combinations. And then Magsayo had, again, one of those big moments with a power punch. Here's the straight right hand, and it kind of landed more on the neck than we thought at the time, but it knocked, and he followed up with another one, knocked Vargas off balance.
This is round number 6. 12-round championship fight for Mark Magsayo's 126-pound title. His maiden voyage as a belt holder and the only Filipino champion left standing after compatriots Nonito Noder Jr. and Rene Marcuardo lost their belts in the past month. And as I say that, chants of Mexico begin here at the Alamo Dome.
A beautiful right hand from Magsayo early on. It's when he gets on that groove again.
Vargas.
Little bounce, but you want to jab again. There it is, jab, jab your way inside. You got the power. You already knocked up balance, Vargas. You can tell you hurt him when he lands the right hand. There's the overhand right.
Talking ran, countered by the right from Magsayo.
You know, Magsayo averages about 30 jabs a round. Tonight, he's only thrown 105 jabs in 5 rounds. So it speaks to what you said, Abner. He's not using that punch effectively.
Magsayo goes to the body with a right hand. Double jab bouncing off the gloves of Magsayo. Vargas goes to the body with a left hook that lands, misses with the right uppercut. And now chance of Magsayo. So both fighters in this Mexico versus Philippines battle, hearing from their supporters. The energy level increasing here in our main event from the crowd, hoping to give that energy to their fan favorite in the ring.
Ray Vargas is starting to land some hellacious left hooks to the body.
Yeah, and he's the one putting the pressure down.
Sharp jab from Vargas.
And it's exactly because of that. The body shots that hurt Magsayo. He saw his body language, he saw he was backing up a bit, and Vargas pressed.
Yeah, you're right. And they just blasted him downstairs
Another
again.
left hook by Vargas upstairs. And Magsayo, sorry, Al's just thrown 31 punches, landed only 6 thus far here in the 6th.
Yeah, that's not what he wants. You know, we've mentioned that it's been 6 years since Vargas scored a stoppage. He's fighting like he wants to try to get one tonight.
Dan, can we talk about the long layoff he's had, Vargas?
Yeah.
And he's looking good.
Yeah, he came
The
back
timing is there.
after a long layoff against Baez, and now he's looking sharp. Magsayo looks tired.
And Ray Vargas has Magsayo the rope. Magsayo firing off a couple rights, backed up to the ropes again. So the challenger making it double tough for the champion Magsayo. All right, Brian Custer had a chance to interview Danny Garcia, who's moving up to 154 pounds on his Last Stand podcast.
What will you bring to 154 that we haven't seen before?
This is my first fight at 154, so I want to see how my body feels. I want to test my skills at a new weight class. You're going to see a seasoned Danny.
Will be the hardest hitter Vargas has faced thus far. And yet, there's blood around the left eye of Vargas. But Vargas has taken the power shots that Magsayo has hit him with very well.
And the chronic issue for Vargas throughout his career, cuts around the eyes. There's a nice left hook that landed upstairs for Vargas.
Yeah, not only that, Al, as you know, he's taking hard punches, power punches, but Vargas has been the one that's thrown more power punches in this fight. He's sitting down on his punches. He's not boxing as much. He's standing right there. In the last round, he was pushing Magsayo back.
Let's bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Farad. How do you have it at the halfway point?
Oh, I have Vargas ahead with all the momentum right now. I've given him the last 4 rounds. I have him ahead 58-56. If this fight goes a distance, to me, rounds 1 and 2 were both swing rounds. I gave them both to Magsayo. So if you gave either of those rounds or both those rounds to Vargas, it's conceivable Vargas is way ahead at this point by more than the 2 points I have him ahead by. So Vargas 58-56 with all the momentum right now.
We don't know if that cut came from a punch or a clash of heads. 4 times before, as you point out, Mao, there was a cut that came from clashes of heads that Vargas suffered.
There's a right-left combination that landed for Magsayo upstairs. The jab through the guard from Vargas.
Yeah, there it is again. He lands that right hand, stepping in, but guess what? You got to cut the ring. You got to keep pushing forward.
Final minute of the 7th. There's a lead right hand across the jawline of Magsayo, and Magsayo finding it difficult to close the distance.
More movement from Vargas this round.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see from Magsayo. We want to see more movement, shifting side to side, making angles.
Incredible, Abner and Al, that Vargas throwing twice as many punches of Magsayo in this round, and, well, doubling them up in terms of connections as well.
Yeah, like Steve said, he's got the momentum right now. He's got the feel. He's feeling his punches well.
Another strong round for the challenger, the undefeated Ray Vargas.
Good round. You're controlling the fight. Just keep jabbing. You're dominating him. You're dominating. Don't let him get back into this fight. Just keep jabbing. Much more.
We believe
And then you hit the hook. And then with the hook. Finish with the hook.
We believe that the cut may well have come from a clash of heads. Maybe that right there where his head was coming in, it was kind of being held a little bit. We'll take another look at it. And you see no cut there. Well, no, there's not really. And then
there it is.
There it is, yeah. The clash of heads there. And again, that's the 5th time in his career that there's been a clash of heads and a cut.
And Jim Gray reporting that referee John Shorley wasn't sure if it was from a punch or a clash of heads, but we just saw the replay. Of course, we have the benefit of seeing the replay. So round number 8, and Mark Magsayo, in his first title defense, is in tough against the equally undefeated challenger Ray Vargas. Both of them yet to taste defeat. 30 seconds gone here in the 8th.
Both men, of course, undefeated, so they passed the 8 rounds. They are past 7 rounds. They are all both undefeated. They've both been 12 rounds before.
Now it's time to step it up for Magsayo. He's getting a little desperate, so he's got to be careful also he doesn't make a mistake coming in.
And now Magsayo again, almost, I guess, hearing you after trying to put together a charge, but easier said than done against Ray Vargas.
Yeah, but he's not doing it right. I mean, he's putting pressure. He's trying to land a big shot while throwing himself like that, but he's got to be careful again. He's not setting it up with the jab.
All right. Yeah, the lack of the jab, the headline story in this fight for Magsayo.
No head movement also. I want to see that.
And that was one of the instructions from Manny Pacquiao. It's saying that it would come down to footwork and head movement, both lacking in this fight. Meanwhile, Vargas throwing combinations. Round after round, it's Vargas out-chucking Magsayo, but Magsayo with a nice right hook. And that caught the attention of Ray Vargas.
That was a good straight right hand, and I'll tell you what, Magsayo was landing some good power punches. Vargas coming up for 122 pounds. He's taking those things.
Good. But you get to see that they bother him.
Yeah.
They hurt him.
Yeah, he felt that.
There's a left hook by Vargas.
There it is again, another hook.
Yeah.
Magsayo.
Well, and let's remember, he has power late in the fight. He came back against Ceja and knocked him out.
And and he's only landed or been credited with only 7 punches in this round compared to 14 for Vargas. So maybe the more eye-catching shots from Magsayo, but Vargas continues to bring the fight to the 126-pound champion. Vargas going against Tuck, but he said he would do it. And there's a sweeping left by Magsayo upstairs.
How are we looking at this?
Every time you do, they score. We need more of that, okay? Come on. We need to score points. We need to win this fight. Come on. You gotta win every round, one at a time. Every round, let's go.
There was a moment in that last round that now Magsayo getting nailed with the straight right hand by Vargas, and then Magsayo would come back with that right hand. That was a beautiful straight right hand by Magsayo. And there was another big power punch after that. Vargas was able to weather it even though he felt it.
This is round at number 9. Battle of undefeated fighters with Mark Magsayo's 126-pound strap up for grabs.
Vargas is 7-0 in 12-round fights. Magsayo is 4-0, so they have lots of experience going that length. The question for Magsayo is, has he dug himself a hole here? We don't know how the judges are seeing it.
Saw a little bit more head movement from Magsayo in the last round. Let's see if he continues with that. He is present a little bit more.
Jab from Vargas. That jab was parried by Magsayo. Vargas trying to disrupt Magsayo with the jab. Goes to the body with the right, and now Vargas getting busier with the jab. Here in round 9 in the opening minute. Right hand by Magsayo lands upstairs.
Ooh, again, you want to follow it up with the hook.
He's still throwing those big punches, and he did land a couple in the last round. And a reminder against Seha, he was way behind, and he came back with that knockout. He'd like to do that. We don't know if he's behind in this fight, but he may well be.
Three-punch combination culminating with a left hook curl behind the guard of Magsayo. According to our unofficial score, Steve Farhood, he has the challenger up by 4.
Oh, that was a nice right by Vargas.
Yeah. And Magsayo tried to counter that right, but I mean, you're way out of distance. Oh, nice right hand. I mean, overhand left.
Sharp jabs exchanged by both fighters. Rare occasion where each of them throws a jab at the same time. Final minute of the 9th.
And you know, Abner has talked a lot about it. We've talked about the lack of jabs from Magsayo. The fact that Vargas has almost doubled the amount of jabs that he has thrown is a big story in this fight. Because actually Magsayo broke more.
Vargas going down. Vargas goes down in the 4th time in his career here in the 9th. Less than 30 seconds left. Here comes Magsayo. So Magsayo, you mentioned the fight against Julio Ceja. Well, he's hoping to deliver some drama late here in San Antonio. Magsayo all over Vargas, but Vargas counters with a right. Is the tide turning here? That was ruled a slip as we head to round 10.
What did you do in that round? What did you do in that round? Listen to me. Are you okay? Now you know. You can't go inside with him.
Well, we'll look back at the knockdown. It was a straight right hand and a beauty by Magsayo. Vargas was almost trying to sell the ref on the fact that it wasn't a knockdown, but boy, that was a beautiful straight right hand by Magsayo.
And it happened because Ray would try to throw an uppercut from far. And Magsayo timed it well, and he walked right straight to that right hand.
Can't throw an uppercut from that.
Nacho Barstein wants Vargas to avoid inside fighting with Mark Magsayo, especially after what transpired in the ninth. That right hand dropping Vargas for the 4th time in his career.
And we talked about the power that Magsayo has. He could do it any given round.
Right uppercut left. Wow. Beautiful combo from Vargas.
Yeah, but Vargas tried that uppercut from back again. He's got to be careful of that, but he did land the left hand.
Landed both. Unofficial scores tightening up on Steve Farrell's scorecard.
And Steve made such a salient point. Those first 2 rounds were very close rounds. The question is, how do the judges have those?
Now, if you're Magsayo, you want to time the right hand that Vargas throws from far.
Yes.
And walk in with it. There it is. But time with right when Vargas throws it. Throw it at the same time. There it is.
Both of them did. Vargas went downstairs to the body with the right. Magsayo had the better punch upstairs to the face.
Vargas is playing with fire, throwing that. It was again an uppercut.
And he did it again. He gets hit. He doesn't look steady on his feet. And he's down. That was a punch. That should have. It's not ruled a knockdown, but Vargas' body language.
I don't think he's 100%. And I didn't see anyone waking him up in the corner.
Midway point of the 10th. And yeah, Vargas trying to throw from long distance, Alan, not successful, and appears off balance.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, his balance is not great right now.
And again, we got to go back to when Magsayo fought Gary Russell with one hand. He did not take advantage of, throwing on top of that hand. And right now, he's got Vargas. He's got him hurt. You got to get on top of him.
Vargas' legs look unsteady. Again, went down for the 4th time in his career in the last round. Magsayo continuing to put the pressure on here in the 10th. Final minute. And while the battle continues in the ring, the battle's in the crowd as well in terms of the contingent cheering on the Mexican Vargas and the contingent cheering on the Filipino Magsayo.
I think Magsayo's losing a big opportunity right here where Vargas is hurt.
We are headed into the championship rounds. Magsayo, will this come back to bite him? After knocking Vargas down, not putting the pressure on here in the 10th, we're going to the championship rounds.
¿Qué tiene? Relájate.
Well, that was almost a knockdown in the last round, which would have, there's an uppercut from far back again. Now that time he landed it early in the round and got away with it and then landed a left hand. Later in the round, that, don't question him, not a knockdown. So the referee was absolutely correct. He pulled him down. And at the end of the round, Magsayo was attacking. We thought not as much as he should have, but he was able to push him back and get in a short right hand. So the plot is thickening.
Championship rounds begin. Round number 11. Undefeated 126-pound champion Mark Magsayo defending the title for the first time against former 122-pound belt holder, the unbeaten Ray Vargas.
Yeah, if I'm Vargas, I want to get on that bicycle now. You got 2 rounds left. We don't know how the judges are seeing this.
Remember what Magsayo said, that if he doesn't run, it's going to be a knockout.
He did say that.
Well, he might need the knockout here. Unofficially, Vargas now up by 1, so Magsayo is definitely closing in on the unofficial scorecard belonging to Steve Farhood.
You can make a strong case that Magsayo won that last round, and we know the one before it was a 10-8 round, so we just don't know about those first couple rounds.
Oh, there's a body shot by Vargas. Magsayo going upstairs. Well, we've seen in the past with Magsayo, conditioning, stamina in the later rounds has been an issue. Doesn't appear to be the case here tonight for neither fighter.
Right, but he's still attacking, but the volume of Magsayo could be better for sure. But yes, but he's still in the fight because he's throwing and landing some power punches.
There's the jab. He threw one jab, Magsayo. See if he keeps doing that.
They're gonna just be heartsick that he hasn't thrown that punch more in this fight.
Yes.
Oh, a nice left hand lands for Vargas.
Vargas cannot resist throwing that uppercut from far out, and it didn't cost him there. He landed the left hook.
Combination from Magsayo, final minute of the 11th.
And this is a close round.
Nice.
Oh, and there Vargas unloads on Magsayo, trapped in the corner momentarily. Magsayo trying to do a Euro step there. Wrong spot.
No, that's what we talked about. I talked about the shifting side to side and get in, and that's exactly what Magsayo did right there.
30 seconds left in round 11. The crowd becoming more boisterous. The action picking up here. 20 seconds left in the 11th.
Pivotal round.
The final 3 minutes. Who will walk out of the Alamo Dome as a 126-pound belt holder? Will somebody's own go? Round 12 next.
Early in the round, Vargas landed again the uppercut, and he almost got countered with the right again, but instead he lands a big left hook. And then he got Magsayo in the corner, and he got some work done as he spun him around.
Hey, you throw that every time, you hurt him every time. All right? Hey, listen to me. Hold your hand right, let's go. Let's let your punches go. All right? Back him up, that way you walk forward.
This is the last round. This is the last round. Don't let him. Don't be close. All right? Maintain the distance, okay? And you'll win it.
Of this 12th and final round for the 126-pound strap belonging to Mark Magsayo. With 40 seconds left in round 9, the challenger Vargas went down from a straight right to the chin. Neither fighter is recorded a knockdown in the championship rounds. Both of them looking to close the show here.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting round because we know that Magsayo is going to move forward. He's going to try to look for the knockout, but he does it, not smart. He bludges his way in. And guess what? Vargas might get with the, inside punches.
On our unofficial scorecard, Magsayo needs the knockout. Looking for it here.
Vargas landing some nice counter punches as Magsayo came in. But, Magsayo's been able to take the best power punches Vargas has offered. And again, Vargas hasn't scored a knockout in 6 years, so he's not a power puncher.
A minute gone here in the final round. It was a 50-50 fight. Heading into this championship affair has been hot and heavy. Both have had their moments, but Ray Vargas delivering on his promise to sit down on his punches.
He's made it an entertaining fight for us by engaging. The big question question is, can he resist Vargas the temptation to throw that uppercut?
Right, there it is. He threw it again.
He can't help himself.
Mark Magsayo's hero, the reason he started boxing. Manny Pacquiao stopped Marco Antonio Barrera in their first meeting 19 years ago in this venue. Does Magsayo need to stop Ray Vargas in order to retain the title? Final 60 seconds. Magsayo had Vargas on the ropes. Vargas closes the distance.
And Magsayo's only thrown 20 punches in this round. He needed to be more active. Double the amounts been thrown by Vargas.
Yes, he did need it to be more active in this round. He's trying to, and he's going to try in the last 30 seconds, so I hope so.
He'll be throwing some bombs.
Yeah, and it's still a close round, I think.
Final 30 seconds. The defending champ recording the lone knockdown of the fight, but the challenger hoping that he has done enough to become a two-division champion. Filipino Mark Magsayo, Mexican Ray Vargas, doing battle until the final bell. Another terrific scrap at 126 pounds. Well, the reactions may tell the story. Jubilation from the Vargas family, concern on the face of Mark Magsayo's wife, Frances.
Yeah, that definitely speaks volumes, right? And you know when you want to fight, you know when you did what was necessary to get a decision, and I think Vargas' team is aware of that, and they feel they won this fight.
And of course, we will see.
Of course.
We've been surprised.
Yes.
We have? Yeah, once or twice.
Well, Vargas receiving a nice round of applause, and Mark Magsayo hoping to hear the same, and he will hear it from his supporters. Again, another chapter in the rivalry between Mexico and Philippines in the boxing ring.
These numbers will be very interesting and perhaps instructive as well.
Fucking fired, man. You were after it.
Many more punches thrown by Vargas. Certainly a significant more landed. Remember, it's by round, so it's how you landed them. Remember, there was a 10-8 round on behalf of Magsayo, but the power punches, both men landing at a very high percentage. 40% for Vargas, 37% for Magsayo, but Vargas threw so many more. So we'll see how that works. And a key one, many more body punches landed by Vargas against Magsayo. That's surprising.
All right, Jimmy Lennon Jr. standing by with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards with a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Tim Cheatham scores about 115 to 112 in favor of Ray Vargas. Judge at ringside, Jesse Reyes scores about 114 to 113 in favor of Mark Magsayo. And judge at ringside, David Sutherland sees the action, 115 to 112 in favor of the winner and the new WBC World Champion of the World, Ray Vargas.
Ray Vargas is the new 126-pound champion. Ray is Spanish for king. He now has a claim to the throne in his second weight class, remains undefeated, and, well, delivered on his promise to make this a fight.
There are two things that will hunt Magsayo forever. Not letting his jab go in this fight, and perhaps not finishing Ray Vargas when he was hurt. Great fight. Great win for Ray Vargas. I mean, he put on a good fight.
a trial by fire for him. He was knocked down late, survived the power of what was certainly the hardest puncher he's faced thus far in his career.
And just like that, the Philippines are without a champion. It will not be the storybook ending that Mark Magsayo was hoping for here in the arena, where his hero Manny Pacquiao emerged as a superstar nearly 2 decades ago. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Mauro. Congratulations, Ray. Felix De Jesus will translate for us. How would you describe this moment?
Este momento, descríbelo para todos.
No tengo palabras. Gracias a Dios, a mi familia por una oportunidad más. Don Nacho, mi papá, mi madre, mi equipo que siempre está ahí. Por México, este cinturón es para allá. Segundo en mi vida, gracias a Dios. El primero lo disfruté, pero este es parte mía.
I have no words to describe what happened here tonight. This is my second title. This one's going back to Mexico. I want to thank my family. I want to thank Nacho and my father, everybody involved in this victory.
What did your dad just say to you?
What?
What did his dad say to him?
¿Qué te dijo tu padre ahora mismo?
Pues no puedo hablar, está emocionado, puros gritos. Con este cinto, primero Dios, queremos unificación con Leo Santa Cruz. Esperemos que se pueda hacer. Es una gran pelea.
It was a great fight. My father is full of emotions right now, so he was very emotional when he spoke to me today.
You overcame the knockdown in round 9 as we take a look here at the monitor. Tell us what happened in that moment.
En el noveno te noqueó. ¿Cómo te recuperaste de ese noqueo? Te aventó.
Sí, claro. No fue un golpe efectivo, realmente fue en movimiento, pero se cuenta porque me tocó de alguna manera con todo el golpe.
It wasn't that effective, but it counts. He did get me there, and he got me with that one.
Did you feel as though you were in control of this fight?
¿Tú crees que estaba en control de esta pelea todo el tiempo?
Sí, por supuesto. Yo creo que en el noveno perdí un poquito el control, tal vez por eso entró ese golpe.
Yeah, of course, I've been in control the whole fight, although in the 9th, because he got me there, that's why I lost a little control.
We see Nacho behind you listening into this. How much has he meant to you?
¿Qué ha significado Nacho para ti?
Es un viejo lobo de mar, siempre se lo he dicho, con todo cariño. Es mexicano, con toda mi gente que está aquí. Gracias a ellos también por apoyarme, a toda mi gente.
He's a wolf, he's Mexican, and thanks for everybody to really...
Campeón número 29 del mundo.
It's my champion's number 29th world that I've had.
What would you like to do next?
¿Qué tú quieres hacer próximamente?
Is Brandon Figueroa going to be the guy?
¿Brandon Figueroa quién?
No, yo creo que la siguiente pelea me enfoco con Leo Santa Cruz, ya lo anduvimos platicando y tal vez se hace esa pelea. Alguna unificación seguro.
Either unification or I do want Leo Santa Cruz in the next fight. That's
Leo Santa Cruz.
That's been talked about.
Okay. Was the eye ever a concern from the headbutt?
El ojo que te dieron ahí, había un concierto como que...
You've had cuts before.
Que te han cortado antes.
Sí, claro, fue un cabezazo en una salida, puso la frente, pero todo controlado en la esquina.
Yeah, it was a headbutt and everything was controlled in the corner.
Ray, congratulations. Tremendous performance.
Felicidades, Ray.
Muchas gracias. ¡Viva México! ¡Vámonos para México! ¡Woo!
Thanks, Mexico. We're going to Mexico.
Now with Mark. Mark, did you feel... how do you feel about the decision?
It's his today. He's the man of today. So no matter what, I'm come back stronger. And yeah, I will be disappointed. But I did my best.
You did do your best. When you had him down in the 9th round, did you think that had changed the complexion of this fight?
Yeah, he showed that that punch is straight, and he's too much running, and he do his job in the ring running. So that's okay.
Do you feel as though you applied enough pressure in the rest of the 9th round and following in that 10th round?
Yeah, I apply what we train at gym, but he was taller and he's the man today. He's the man today.
Good fight. Good fight.
Good fight.